I worked with Sadie Coates Productions for about 5 years, and we produced about 20 interactive books for children during that time. And we used to joke that the first pop-up book we saw said printed in Colombia, and we used to joke about going to Colombia to check printing.
我跟这家公司 Sandy Fields 合作了大概5年的时间，期间出版了20本针对孩童的互动书。那时候我们常常在开玩笑说，那个书的印制的地点是在哥伦比亚，我们就常开玩笑说，我们应该去检查一下，看他们到底印的好不好。
So we found ourselves on the plane going to Colombia to do a press check, and when I started this, I never thought that I would be traveling the world because of pop-up books. And you can imagine my surprise when we got an invitation to come to Taiwan to speak.
我们那时候搭上飞机，真的要到哥伦比亚去检查一下，看这个书印的好不好的时候，我当时根本没有想到说会因为立体书而环游全世界。大家可以想象，当我们收到从台湾来的邀请函，我们多惊讶。
So I'd really like to thank Michael Yang and the United Daily News Corporation for inviting us, and for everybody who's been so hospitable while we've been here. It's been so much fun.
所以我真的要谢谢联合报系还有杨清贵先生，如果没有他们的邀请，我们真的没有办法来到这里呢。
And formed a marketing company from using pop-ups for advertising.
这些刚刚那些照片是我早期的一些作品，后来呢，我就搬到美国去，成立了一间行销公司，我们利用就是立体书的这样的技术来做行销跟广告。
It became very obvious that the advertising agencies didn't want to wait 6 months to have a pop-up made for their marketing. So Paper Creations closed. This was the name of the company. Paper Creations closed after 3 years.
但很明显的，广告公司不愿意等6个月，让你做一本立体书来帮他，或是立体书的作品来帮他做行销的工作。所以我们那家公司它叫 Paper Creations， 就在成立3年以后就倒闭了。
And then I went back to my roots and I became a graphic designer. I was distracted by the Macintosh computer, and I wanted to work on the computer and do artwork on the computer.
后来我就开始针对平面设计感到兴趣，尤其那个时候麦金塔让我非常的着迷，所以我也想要用电脑来做绘图。
And then my children said, "Are you ever going to make another pop-up book?" And I said, I wasn't thinking of it. And they said, "Oh, you really should."
但我们家小孩子就跟我说：“爸，你什么时候再做一本立体书？”我那时候根本没有想到这件事情，但是他们就发现它整个变得非常复杂的时候，让我很惊讶。
I thought that I would easily be given a job from a publisher to work on another pop-up book. Well, I was wrong. They all said, "That's great. Please come back with some good ideas."
我本来以为说，如果我真的要再出立体书，出版商应该会张开双手欢迎我回来。但结果并不是如此，他们都说，你的想法很好，不过等到你真的有什么成品出来，再跟我们联络好了。
So I just want to quickly say something about how you get published if you're an artist. A lot of people want to work in children's books, and there really is no easy answer. And I think the best role model for good work is the Pixar animation company, because they always start with a good idea or a good story. And it's easy enough to make a pop-up book, but I think you really do need a good idea.
我想要花一点时间跟大家谈一谈怎么样出版。我相信有人可能是艺术家，或者是想要在童书这一行继续往下走。那其实真的没有一个很简单的答案。我觉得最重要的一件事情，最重要的一个模范，其实是皮克斯公司动画这个皮克斯公司，因为他们的作品都是有一个很好的创意跟想法跟故事。你可以做出立体书，可是最重要其实是你的创意跟想法。
So if you are hoping to get published, I would say be as original as possible. Send your ideas to the publishers in ways that you might get noticed. I sent my Castaway Pirates book in a red velour bag with chocolates, and I sent out a sales pitch a notice. I took my lead from the movie companies and sent them an announcement rolled up in a Federal Express box.
如果说你真的想要出版的话，首先就是要非常非常有创意跟发想，再来就是要用很独特、可以吸引出版商注意的方式，把你的作品寄给出版商看。我的那份作品呢，《海盗漂流记》，我寄给出版商的那个袋子呢是红色的，然后上面那个印是巧克力，而且呢，我还自己做了一个海报，就用电影公司在宣传的方式做了一个海报寄给他们，然后而且还是用那个快递。
So I called these coins Barbary bribery, which is named after pirates. And maybe Lorraine will, and thank you Lorraine for translating. Maybe Lorraine can explain what Barbary bribery might mean.
那这个巧克力其实是有它的目的的，就是海盗的一个说法，就是我们要用海盗的方式来做一点小小的贿赂。
Anyway, I'd sent out my mock-up books to various publishers, and I didn't get anybody that wanted to take on my book. And just before I sent my book to Chronicle Books in San Francisco, just half an hour away from where I was working, the phone rang, and they asked me to go in to design a pop-up for a book called Olive the Other Reindeer.
我那时候寄出书以后都没有得到任何的回音。我本来已经想要联络在做旧金山的 Chronicle Book 这家公司，结果那个时候刚好还没寄出去，他们居然打电话给我说，希望我能够帮他们做一个立体书。那这个立体书是那个 Reindeer， 就是麋鹿 Olive 的故事。
And I mentioned to Chronicle Books that I had an idea for a book that I was going to send them, and they said, well, bring the book to the meeting. And it's very rare that if you're trying to pitch a book to a publisher that you actually get to walk into the publisher and show them your book in person.
那个时候我就跟他们说，我刚好也有另外一本书，也是立体书。他们就说，那你就带来啊，带来开会。其实这对一个作者来说是蛮少见的机会，你能够真的把作品带去给出版商看。
So they said, that's great, leave the book with us and we'll be in touch. And about a week later I get an email from Chronicle Books and they said the bribery worked.
我那时候他们给我的回应就说，好，那你把书放着，我们到时候呢再跟你联络。1周以后，我收到一封电子邮件，电子邮件上面的回复是说，你的贿赂成功了。
So I'm just going to show you the spreads very quickly. I'm not going to read the story. I'm very proud of this book because I actually wrote the story, if you can call it a story. It's a rhyme.
那我接下来就要翻这本书给大家看，很可惜我没有办法跟大家讲这个故事，不过我非常骄傲，因为这个故事是我自己想出来的。这个故事的精华就是有一群海盗，他们遗失了他们的，因为在风暴当中，他们的海盗船坏掉了，结果他们就只好在一艘小小的舢板上面，然后周围全部都是鲨鱼。
它的过程是这些海盗呢，他们在那个逃生艇小木舟上面来讲的话呢，遇到鲨鱼的时候，他们还想说，那我船上什么东西可以把鲨鱼赶走？所以呢，每一页就是用一种道具，拿鞋子、拿绳子、拿什么东西都来挡它。到后来呢，最后一页的时候发觉呢，都没有办法，因为你只要丢绳子的话，鲨鱼就把绳子吃掉了。OK， 好，那丢鞋子什么东西都把鲨鱼都吃掉了。所以鲨鱼一定要咬他们的时候呢，最后一页呢，突然灵机一动，他怎么样击退鲨鱼的呢？要告诉大家结局吗 ？Am I allowed to tell the ending of the story? Right?
Well, let me show you the penultimate spread. This is my favorite spread, and then Michael can tell you the ending. So this.
我要让大家看一下我最喜欢的一页，就是一个全景的画面。
So on each spread, they try to stop the boat sinking by plugging the leak, and then they throw everything in the water to try and scare away the shark.
在每一页呢，他们因为有漏水的问题，所以他们想尽办法要先解决漏水的问题，然后再下来就是想办法要让那些鲨鱼可以赶走。
And the shark eats everything in sight, and the cliffhanger is, will he eat them as well?
那鲨鱼就像刚刚杨先生说的，就是丢什么吃什么。
Well, Michael, does he eat them?
所以最后鲨鱼有没有把它们吃掉？
最后呢，因为他们已经无计可施，因为已经什么东西都丢光了嘛，鲨鱼就全部吃掉。结果怎么击退鲨鱼的呢？后来发现呢，把鞋子脱下来之后呢，把那个臭脚伸出去，鲨鱼闻到那个臭脚之后呢，臭蛙被吸，然后就跑了。有掌声吗？
When I was at a book signing for Castaway Pirates, Chronicle asked me, would I be interested in working on a pop-up book for the adult market?
我在进行《海盗漂流记》的签书会的时候 ，Chronicle Books 就问我说：“我们想要针对成人也来设计立体书，你有没有兴趣？”
Chronicle Books in San Francisco are famous for publishing sex books, and they had the idea that I might do a pop-up book on sex.
这家公司其实最有名的就是跟性有关系的书，所以他们那时候本来问我的是说，我要不要针对性这个议题来做一本立体书
Well, it's been already done, so I didn't want to do it for that reason, but I couldn't think how I would explain it to my young children when I was working.
这个东西已经有人做过，所以我就不太感兴趣，而且我又想到我以后要怎么跟我们家小孩子解释，所以我觉得。
So they said, well, then what other ideas can you come up with? And I thought of a number, but I had an idea back in 2003 for a pop-up book of flowers.
他们后来就问我说：“那你有没有别的想法、别的创意？”我其实想了几个，但是我想到在2003年的时候，我想要针对花做一个立体书。
And they said, that's great, we love that idea. And I thought, oh dear, how am I going to do this?
他们居然说：“那很好啊，这个想法非常好，就开始做吧。”但我心里想，完蛋了，我要怎么做？
The idea seemed good in my head and it was good on paper, but then I had to make it a reality.
这个想法一开始想的时候非常好，画在纸上也非常好，但实际要做成立体书就不是那么容易。
So I started looking at pictures of flowers and doing research and wondering which flowers I would use, which flowers I would put into which arrangements. And it confused me for a week.
我那时候就开始看花的照片，开始做一些研究，想说到底要选哪些花，这些花到底要怎么摆设。那时候让我有1个礼拜的时间都头很痛。
And then it hit me that I should really try and make flowers out of what the paper allowed me to make. In paper engineering, there are ways, only a certain number of ways that you can use the paper, and that told me what I could and could not make.
我后来发现，其实纸艺这个工艺就已经告诉我说，我可以做哪些花了。因为在纸艺方面，有一些花是你可以技术上是可以做得出来，但有一些花就是不可能。
The picture on the screen is the first experiment I did for paper blossoms, and I was trying to explore different shapes.
这张图就是我一开始的一个草稿，我那时候是想要先了解说这个花的形状是怎么样，那要怎么样摆。
You can see that it's not quite finished.
大家可以看出来，这是未完成的作品。
Pieces of paper trying to come up with different flowers, and the pictures here are of heliconia, a lobster claw.
我那时候就开始实验不同的花要怎么做得出来。那这张图呢是我的金鸟褐胶。
Is the same sketch, but the pop-up shot from above.
这是刚刚那个草图，但是我们是从上面往下拍。
I don't think I have that one.
我好像忘记带那一张。
This is how it looks like when it's folded inside the book, all the pieces laid together.
如果你是把它折叠起来的情况下，书盖起来的情况下，长这样。
This is here are a series of mock-ups of the spreads. I'll show you the finished piece in a minute. And I'm going to leave these open at the end of the presentation so you can come and look. But these are the mock-ups that we used to cost the book in China.
这些是我们后来做好的白稿。那我待会会把这些白稿全部摆在这些，当然大家可以参观。我们后来就是利用这些白稿来做模，来做出那个立体书。
Now, in order to cost a pop-up book, we have to make these white mock-ups. And this is an example of the. This is an example of a white mock-up, and we would send this to the printer along with the die lines that you see on the screen. And the die lines are what the printer uses to make the cutting blades from.
这是我们所做出来的白稿其中一个案例。那我们会把这个白稿寄去给我们的印刷厂，同时给印刷厂的还会有图面画面上线的这个叫分模线，要让印刷厂知道从哪里切割。
这边简单再介绍一下，就是说，通常呢，他们的创作者呢会先用那个所谓白纸，还没有上色哈，这种通常会叫做白稿的方式，他先把它做出来。他们做的过程当中会剪剪贴贴啊，然后把它确定说呢，它的开合呢，尤其是呢，各位收起来哈，比打开重要。所以确定说收了起来，收了起来之后，他发觉这个结构呢，这个力学呢，这个动力是对的话呢，好，那这样才会去做上色。那于是通常他们拿这个白稿的话呢，会直接拿去给这些出版社跟他们提案。就说我的 idea 我的点子大概是这个样子，他们确定之后呢，才会再去真正的去考虑说怎么样把它做出版。那当时在真正出版的时候呢，这些白稿的话有些不一定会去使用它，还会再去做修改哦。到后来真正看到成品不一定是原先开始做到那个原先一开始的原始的品质。那个线我们叫刀模线，各位，因为它到时候等一下会给各位看那个彩色的那个图，上色以后的话呢，它有那个红色的外线的话呢，它就是叫做 die cut， 就是那个刀模线要切割下来的。那什么叫刀模呢？我想如果有人做印刷会知道，那个刀模就很像你知道那个美而美吃过早餐吧？他不是煎一个很漂亮圆圆的蛋吗？怎么煎？用一个圆圈铁框，对，那个叫做刀模。哦，所以呢，它沿着那个彩色它的那个线条花的线条的话呢，就要折那个铁片哦，折那个形状折出来，然后放一个大的木板呢，直接把它固定在那个木板上面那个形状。所以呢，那个到时候那个纸张白纸印刷好的纸张过去之后呢，刀模上面压下来切下来，叫 compression， 这样啪。捏下来，把它切下来之后呢，形状就会出来了，所以那叫做刀模。
I explored some different ideas, and one of them was an ikebana idea. This one opens. It's not working today. But this one couldn't go in the book because it has pieces that stick through the page, and that wouldn't work for this particular book, so this one didn't get used.
我也实验了一下，利用日本花道的这种方式来设计这些花，但是这一个作品没有进到我的书里面，主要是因为它有一些东西超过了书源，那就没有办法。
另外一个是因为它装订的方式。它装订的方式的话是装订在下面，下面，因为事实上立体书的话呢，不是只有一页，它是两张纸夹起来哈。那夹住的地方就是它后面粘贴的部分，或是机关呢藏在两页的中间。那事实上在它生产过程当中，实际上就是所谓的那个制造过程是有困难有难度的，因为制造生产要所谓的字距了，所以它那个印刷那个字距和组装的时候是有困难的，所以就放弃了这个花了。
Once the die lines have been drawn and the costing comes in, then the artist can draw the artwork for the book. And the picture here shows the artwork for Paper Blossoms underneath. This is just part of the spread. Shows the artwork underneath the die line.
我们设定好了这个刀模线，然后有了模型以后，我们就可以开始让我们的艺术家来做这些背景的艺术作品，还有着色的部分。那现在这个图就是显示我们当时不同的组成的各个部分。
这个叫做刀模图，跟我们看到外面的外色红线，红线就是要切割的地方。那通常他们呢，创作者的话呢，他们就要呢，因为为了要上进的资源，因为纸越来越贵了，所以要想办法在一张的纸一样的大小的话，塞进越多的元件。他们的名字叫 nesting， 就是那个槽一样，去塞，把它塞进去。所以密密麻麻的，尽量把白色的把它填满。这样的话，一张纸可以塞很多的元件。因为一本立体书的话，可能有上千上万个元件，小元件兜起来的。所以呢，这个动作非常非常的重要。
And this is how it looks after it's printed and assembled.
我们最后的成品是像这个样子。
Because Paper Blossoms was a decorative book, I wanted to try and take that a stage further, and so I had an idea to come up with a book with using different art styles through it from history.
百花争艳、纸花争艳这本书是一个装饰性的书，那所以我就想说，也许我可以利用这个方向，我就想要在历史上面有一些不同的艺术形式，我把它合成变成立体书。
And so I thought, well, I'll show this to Chronicle Books, and this will be great. We can do this after Paper Blossoms. And I made several mock-ups. This is actually a hand-painted mock-up that I created for a school auction that actually belongs to somebody else, but this is what I showed to Chronicle Books.
我就跟 Chronicle Books 提我的想法，他们也觉得不错。那这个是我做的一个白稿，可是我是手绘着色。这个作品现在已经在一个学校的拍卖会上面卖掉了，所以我是跟人家借回来展示的。
So this is inspired by the Art Nouveau style, and this takes lots of different influences from the Parisian metro stations and various jewelry, but the centerpiece is a bird of paradise.
这个主题主要就是乐园，那有受到很多不同历史上面艺术的影响。那这个其实是一个天堂鸟。
解释一下哈，这个创作的那个起源是来自于那个法国新艺术啊。那
Chronicle Books really liked it, but they said, well, it's not really our type of book, so we'll pass on that one.
Chronicle Books 说他们很喜欢，可是这真的不符合他们出版社的风格，所以他们就说，所以我们就没有要出版这个。
So I'm trying to pitch that with a different publisher. Chronicle Books said, well, what we'd really like is another Paper Blossoms book.
所以我现在必须要再找另外一个出版商来帮我出版。不过 Chronicle Books 又跟我说，那你纸花争艳可不可以有续集啊？
So I'm going to show you 3 spreads from the next Paper Blossoms book.
那这就是纸花争艳续集的白稿。
Now these are all white, they don't have any artwork on it, we're still costing this, and so what you see may not end up in the real book.
要大家记得，这是草稿、白稿，而且我们还没有完成刀格线、刀模线或者是分隔这些东西，所以大家到时候最后。
From the original Paper Blossoms book, we learnt a lot about what people liked, and they asked us if we could include, we'd like certain things next time. So one of the most popular things is butterflies, and this spread features 4 butterflies, and you can see if you can find them.
我们从第一本纸花争艳上面得到很多回馈，很多人都告诉我们说他们喜欢哪一类的花，哪一类的摆饰，最喜欢的就是蝴蝶。所以这一本白稿上面就是蝴蝶。
中间这要对角线，对不对？那所以呢，那个立体纸翼要是让它站得很高的话呢，一定是这个纸翼的话呢，是用对角线，都是斜放。那个纸模其实是斜放的，斜放，因为斜放的关系的话，它的中线呢是会在这个折页的方式，所以打开的话，它才会站得起来。所以你要站得越高的话，那个对角斜角要越大。那越大的结果是什么？修不开，都透出来，都凸出来的。所以变书呢，你的那个纸翼的大小的话，会跟你这个对角线的长度呢是成正比的。越长的话呢，越高越大，可是收不起来。五级二不能喝嘛，哈，对不对？所以接下来他讲说，他要呈现的，他想到，能不能说，因为他想要把它撑得更高更大的时候呢，那我一定要舍弃这个传统的技法，这个角度。那我要怎么做呢？那各位请看。
So this is I don't think I've seen this in a book before, but it's possible that I've missed one. So this is a way to gain height using the center of the book.
所以我们就是利用书的中间来让整个画面能够更高。
And it features a hummingbird.
里面是一只蜂鸟。
And the last spread I'm going to show, this is possibly one of the most paper-consuming spreads I think I've worked on.
这个作品呢，是我觉得我做立体书以来花最多纸的一个作品。
In the first Paper Blossoms book, we made some roses, and I always wanted to go back and see if I could improve on those. So this was my effort to come up with a dozen red roses.
我在做纸花针叶的时候就有做玫瑰，那我一直在想说我要再改进，所以这就是我改进的结果。里面有1打玫瑰。
I think that's it. Oh, I just want to say one thing about paper engineering. I see a lot of children in the audience today, and I know a lot of people want to make pop-ups. And I think that everybody should try this. I just don't want you to get too good at it, but everybody should try it. Sorry.
我想要花一点时间来谈一下纸艺这个东西，因为我发现现场有很多小朋友，那小朋友可能也对立体书的制造很感兴趣。我觉得每个人其实都应该要尝试一下。
You should just start with one piece of paper, fold it in half, stick it down, and experiment with different angles and add pieces to it and keep cutting it and just have fun experimenting.
所以你可以拿一张纸，把它对折，然后来换一下不同的角度，看看是不是要粘什么东西上去，插什么东西上去，剪什么地方，做一点实验。
And use anything that lays flat. You can put feathers in it, aluminum foil, thin pieces of wood, anything you want.
只要用平的东西都可以，包括像铝箔纸也可以啊，甚至是比较平的木板也可以。
And then when you get good enough, send a card to your friend.
然后做好以后就把这个卡片寄给朋友啊。
Thank you.
谢谢。
If you want to do it yourself, I will tell you. It's just 4 times the buildings cut in the same shape.
那同样形状的建筑物，你们把它就是剪4个相同形状的同样的建筑物。
You have the depth of the building here.
所以有那个建筑物的深度。
And just here, in order that it raises, you just open a little on the side of the gutter. It's called a gutter.
那由于这个建筑物它是直立着的，所以在中间的时候必须让它打开，让它可以撑得住。
So that way it doesn't go like this or like that.
如此一来，它就不会斜向任何一边。
And this was like I wanted it to be a card so that you can see when it's flat too.
透过这样的设计呢，就算它在平面的时候，我们可以看出它像一张卡片。
好，我们非常谢谢 Marian 跟我们分享他给高雄一个礼物啊，非常的谢谢。好，那我们接下来呢，我们让2位呢贵宾呢休息。
所以你这张做签名桌就对了。
因为这高度太矮了，坐起来不好签。
之后色就可以。
那天来听人讲说，听说我们那个他们需要去，没有，你说的。对啊，这边我听这个，人家是吃我的作品，他不会帮我们，人家是哎 ，hello， 对，这边有吗？ 没有，他们是他们的自己的。